More than 1,200 families are suing social media companies, including TikTok, Snapchat, and Meta. And they say content being promoted on the platforms is negatively impacting their kids' mental health. On 60 Minutes last night, Sharon Alfonsi spoke to one of the families suing after losing their daughter to suicide. They believe content shared on her Instagram is to blame.
You ask yourself, how did she come up with this idea? And then when I did the research, there it was. She saw it on Instagram. It was on her phone.
If that video wasn't sent to her, because she copied it, she wouldn't have had a way of knowing how to do that certain way of hanging yourself.
Nearly a year and a half after England's death, that hanging video was still circulating on Instagram with at least 1,500 views. Tony Roberts says it was taken down in December 2021. The Roberts are suing Meta, the parent company to Instagram.
If they so-called monitor and do things, how could it stay on that site? Because they're part of their policy states they don't allow for self-harm, photos, videos, things of that nature. So who's holding them accountable?
So here now to discuss more about these cases against companies is Ryan Baker. He is a partner at Los Angeles-based litigation firm Waymaker LLP. Really glad to see you to talk about this. So people would have known when we talk about the responsibility of social media companies that they are protected by kind of a section of the Communications Decency Act, which basically says providers have some sort of immunity. So these lawsuits are challenging that. What are the current regulations in place for social media companies regarding youth, and how much relies on parental oversight?
Well, so it's certainly a developing field. When you refer to Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which is something that the internet industry as a whole and social media companies in particular have always used to insulate themselves against liability. And a lot of people have described that statute as sort of the backbone or the facilitator of the internet. And essentially what that says is you, as a provider of a site, you're not treated as a publisher of content that's generated by others. So social media, which is obviously people putting things up for others to see, those websites aren't necessarily responsible for what those other people say. However, you obviously have cases now where people are being harmed by the content. And I think that the shift, so I guess to first answer your question, what is the state of the law? It's in flux. A lot of states are looking at this. The federal government's looking at this. Everybody's looking at this as a crisis. A lot of kids obviously are being harmed by this. I have 4 children myself. I'm very aware, try to be aware of what they're doing online to the extent they are online. But at the end of the day, it's a bit of a frontier, and it's something, these products were not designed for children, and they're causing great harm.
Yeah, the comparison that I always like to give to people is kind of like an old school comparison, but it's like treating the platforms like they're the printing press. You would never think to sue the printing press for whatever books are, it prints. But the difference here is there are algorithms that, that amplify certain types of posts, and those companies are responsible for those algorithms. And so that is the debate. But I want to.
That's exactly right.
Right. And so, but what about also the people who create the content? Is there any legal responsibility or liability for the content creators?
Well, there certainly can be. I mean, you see this obviously in the setting of intellectual property, where if somebody's infringing, let's say on YouTube, a copyright, then that individual or company could be sued in court for that. And so here you obviously have a bit of a different scenario where you may have somebody who's posting harmful content to a particular group, for example, children. Ultimately, is there responsibility there? The trouble really becomes, in the first instance, tracking that person down and finding who the publisher is. And it can be difficult to get information out of the social media companies. And that's also one of the sort of fundamental issues that I know legislatures are also looking at. How do we enable discovery from social media companies and other platforms? But the point that you make, Anne-Marie, is the right one. The algorithms and the things that these social media companies are using to serve the content, to provide information, those are not things that are generated by other users. Those are products that are developed by the companies themselves, and those products can be the basis for liability.
Do you think, and I know this is sort of a developing part of the law, and these lawsuits may shape the future, that it may actually be a little bit of a case-by-case basis? Like if there is something that is put up and then pulled down very quickly, then a platform may be less liable than if, in the case of that we just ran, they had a step-by-step sort of instructions on how to commit suicide that was up a year and a half after someone had already committed suicide.
There's no question that that is going to be a factor. You right now, you're sort of in the world of the negligence law, which essentially requires compliance with a duty, fulfilling certain obligations, and there is a reasonableness element to that. So to the extent that somebody, especially on a social media platform, has put something up harmful, if the company has policies in place to find that, detect it, or to be notified of that, and it takes action, I think that'll go a long way towards protecting the companies, which obviously have an interest in providing these platforms for people, and they're used for many good things as well.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting and changing part of the law. And what we're seeing here is something that we've seen over and over again, is often the law is playing catch up to technology. And whenever they figure this out, I'm sure there will be another sort of type of technology that we'll have to wrangle with as well. Ryan Baker, thank you so much.
Thank you.